Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome or welcome back to So Floor, the official gathering place for newbies, novices, and OG diehard fans of the golden age of primetime. I'm your host, Jad, viewing and reviewing the soapiest, sudsiest primetime storylines of 1984 and 85. So whether you're new to this or true to this, sit back and enjoy. Tell the kids it's time to play outside or out of sight. Tell babe no questions, suggestions, or concerns for the next 25 to 35 minutes. Everyone else in earshot, be cool, be quiet, or be kicked out because we are watching the prelude to the finale of our stories. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is So Floor. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome or welcome back to another fun-filled edition of So Floor. I hope your day is shaping up well. If you're winding down, thank you for joining me today. This episode, when I tell you I had a time, today I'm reviewing Falcon Crest, and I know the consensus across the board. Actually, you guys are sort of all over the place. I feel like the people who listen to my show absolutely have a favorite, and then they have other ones that they sort of sprinkled in. For a very long time, Falcon Crest was the favorite. But I've heard so many times that, it just got worse as time went on. Some people think season 2 is the best. Some people think season 3 is the best. I have not been disappointed with season 4. I think looking at it as someone who didn't know what it was, my expectations are only good. They have shown me time and time again that they know how to write a story and they know how to blow up a story. Go ahead and grab yourself something bubbly and bright as we jump into season 4, episode 29, Confessions. This episode was an absolute blast. I cackled the entire way through. Man, Falcon Crest does one thing better than any other soap opera, in my personal opinion. On Dynasty, on Dallas, on Knots Landing, it feels like you only have one antagonist going at someone else's throat. And maybe some other people catch strays because they're in the line of fire. But on Falcon Crest, everybody is everybody else's enemy. It's not just one, it's like 15. I think I may call this episode, It's Like That. Oh, okay, it's like that. I see you. Something to that effect, because that's the whole premise. That's the vibe I get watching this. And it reminded me of the first time I ever felt that in my own life. It was in the 3rd grade. And perhaps I didn't have the same language that I would say today, but it was definitely it's like that. So, in elementary, there is nothing better than a free day, a pizza party, or an AV cart that comes in, or all 3 in one if you can help it. My 3rd grade teacher, Miss Lee, was very cool. She was a very strict woman, but she was very fair. And she would allow us to earn different sort of surprises or parties based on these little dashes she would put in the corner of her chalkboard. So they were intended to spell out a word. For instance, you see 5 dashes, there'd be a letter I, that's a pizza party, Pizza, stuff like that. She bought us GAC, Nickelodeon GAC from back in the day. Y'all remember that? Before slime was a slime? She was a lot of fun, and we could earn these prizes in these parties from not just doing what you were supposed to. You were supposed to turn in your work, you're supposed to line up, you're supposed to listen. But say you were in the library and the librarian said, so-and-so was really awesome today, you have a great class. She'd give us extra letters. She started this at the beginning of the year. And by November, we had a really good culture and a rhythm in the class. We knew how to get what we needed. One day in early November, I'll never forget, because in Texas, that's where it starts to get kind of cold. It's like really cold in the morning, it's warm in the afternoon, and then it's real cold at night. Coming in the classroom, and Mrs. Lee wasn't there. It was a couple seconds, we all sat down, and then this lady walks in, Mrs. Robinette. I had seen Mrs. Robinette around. She had 5 or 6 kids. I know some of them were my sister's age. She had a kid in kindergarten and some in elementary. I would see her dropping her kids off and kind of coming in and out of the school. That's not important. The point I'm making is that I'd seen her around, but I'd never really formed an opinion about her. And I didn't have an opinion about her that morning. I didn't have an opinion about her until lunch. When I tell you, after this woman took roll, She turned into the wicked witch of the Southwest. She flipped the script. She's yelling, y'all gonna do extra work. I don't want to hear any riffraff. I want to see your handwriting. Like, she just flips the hell out. I'm like, oh my God. If I knew the term pick me back in the day, that's what I would have called her. We just couldn't believe she had flipped out. She was trying to be a teacher, but she was taking it to the umpteenth level. Instead of just following the lesson plan left to her, she was kind of going off the books. We were getting in trouble for every little thing. Somebody sneezed and somebody said, bless you. We got in trouble. She kept saying, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. She would snatch off 2 minutes of our playtime, 2 minutes of our reading time, 2 minutes of our free time. Because in her words, if you waste my time, I'm going to waste your time. She's flipping out. At lunch, as a class, I mean, most of us got together like, what the hell is wrong with this woman? She is tripping. After lunch, we come back in. She's mad because she said it took us too long to get inside the building, took us too long to sit in our seats. No lunch tomorrow. It's like, you can't take away lunch. No playground tomorrow. We're like, oh my God, this is wild. We all prayed that she wouldn't be back the next day. And the next day, we were very disappointed. That Tuesday morning, walking in, seeing her was devastating. It was a visceral disappointment. It felt like I had a backpack weighing 50 pounds on my head, and you could just feel it in the room. We were so deflated, like, oh my God, how are we going to get through another day? Well, at some point in the day, she finally notices the little dashes in the corner. I will never forget. It was dash, dash, the letter E, dash, the letter R, dash, dash, dash. Think about that. We already knew that was going to be ice cream. It was going to be an ice cream party. She said, well, what is this over here? What is this? We all started explaining, well, this is our prizes. We're going to win this. This is how we do this. She listens. She digests the fact that, okay, you guys can earn a party. Well, I had to tell you 4 times the lineup, which was a lie. She picks up the eraser. She wipes away 1 dash. And then you talked back to me. She wipes another one. She kept naming off these like nefarious infractions that did or didn't happen, or she kind of blew them out of proportion. And every time she'd make up one, she'd wipe away a letter or a dash until they were all gone. The silence that went through the class, it was like, oh my God, everybody's jaw was on the ground. And that's when I felt it for the first time. Like, oh, it's like that. Here I am thinking you're going to be a fair adult, that we're going to have a fair chance, but it's like that. Okay, bet. Apparently the class felt the same way. On one of her many trips to the bathroom in the teacher's lounge to freshen up her caffeine addiction, or her diet caffeine-free Coca-Cola addiction. You remember those gold cans? I swear she was drinking like 2 or 3 an hour. It was ridiculous. So she was constantly going to the bathroom. She'd drink a diet caffeine-free Coca-Cola and then chase it with tea. Make that make sense. You want caffeine or no? Anyway, she left and we were like, okay, we gotta do something. What do we do? Everybody moved their desk around. We start scrambling our desk, moving around, making it look funny. She comes back in the room, flips out. Get back in your seats, flip it. So everybody puts their desk back in order, but everybody sits in the wrong desk. It takes her a while to figure this out because she hadn't bothered to learn anybody's name despite them being on our desk. She didn't notice. So she's reading off of the roll call list and she's like, Jason, read. And a girl raises her hand to read. And we all start laughing. She gets pissed, but she tells us she's going to go get the principal. She storms out. We all, of course, sit back in our original seat quietly with our head down reading. He comes into the room. He's like, everything's fine. He goes by, he looks at our desk. Okay, yeah, that's her. That's Jet. It's fine. He leaves. She's furious. Oh, so we would just keep doing things like that. We figured out that worked. It did cost us playground time the next day, so this would have been like Wednesday. But we took that time to sit in the classroom, since we couldn't go outside, to come up with other plans. It was decided if she told us to be quiet, nobody talk for the rest of the day. No matter what she says, just don't say anything. Don't answer her questions. Don't do this. We kept doing little dumb stuff like that. Like somebody put tape in her chair. She left the classroom too many times. She left it open. But you know what? It was all out war because she took away our ice cream party. We were going to get to go off campus. We were going to get to go to the Dairy Queen. I don't even like ice cream like that, but it's the principle. I could have gotten a float. I could have gotten a root beer, could have brought my own money and got something else. But she took that opportunity. By Thursday afternoon, she was so frustrated, like she had started crying. And I hate that I laughed, but I was 8 years old. I'm going to give myself a pass. We laughed at her. She refused to come back after lunch, so we all had to pile into the classroom next door, which turned out for the best because that teacher was not really trying to teach double the classroom, so we all just got to kind of play outside and just do whatever. She was like, I'm not even going to try to teach all today. We're not even doing all that. And it felt good. It felt good to sort of enact some revenge. Mind you, it didn't ruin her life. It didn't really change a lot. She didn't substitute, as far as I can remember, for the rest of that year. And that Friday, we got a very cool substitute who just kind of followed the rules and was like, hell, it's Friday. Let's just chill. But it felt good to enact revenge. It felt good to go after the person who thought they were going to take something precious from you and things were going to be sweet. I think not, Mrs. Robinette. This episode is a whole lot like that. Nobody's on this episode gaslighting an overzealous third grade substitute teacher drinking diet caffeine-free Coca-Cola by the boatload. But there is a lot of sort of jumping ship here. Okay, so at the top of the show, Melissa asks Richard to meet her at this park. She needs a neutral location. As you know, she's having a real hard time. She already told the manimal that she will turn herself in. However, the more she thinks about it, the less she wants to go to jail. So she turns to the only person she can think of, Richard. He's waiting for her at this park because she went and got her hair did, so she was late. He was not too keen about standing out there like a weirdo. He didn't have any kids to watch. He just looks crazy out there. Very uncomfortable. Melissa, what is it? She breaks it down to him. Well, Maggie and the manimal have figured out that Lance was framed. They know exactly who did it. They know it was Joel. I need you, Rich. We in this together. And Richard's like, who is we? She's like, me and you, we. You have just as much at stake at this as I do. And he's like, or I have nothing at all to do with this. The funny thing about this is that Melissa is basically telling Richard that the manimal figured it out, but she didn't tell him that she sort of confessed to it. So he's saying, well, just don't say anything. Why bring me into this? Just don't say anything. He doesn't really know anything. Melissa says no. He knows that Lance was framed. He knows Joel was paid. He knows who did it. I mean, I couldn't even lie about it. He's like, he's bluffing. If he had any information, he would have turned you in a long time ago. She's like, well, I mean, you were involved. Who's involved? Me? Not me. So then she goes on to threaten him. She flips the script a little bit. She's like, well, if you tell on me, if you cooperate this, I'll tell them you had something to do with it too. And he's like, well, maybe I'll tell them that you tried to pay me to kill Angela. Maybe you paid Joel to kill Angela. She's like, that's not true. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. You paid $50,000. I didn't. So, I mean, what are you going to do? She starts getting mad because Melissa has a hairpin trigger. But then she collects herself. She's like, okay, being honest didn't work. Let me use my feminine wiles. She tries to seduce him, but that's damn near impossible to do in a butter yellow skirt suit. Richard ain't really into the pastels, I suppose, because he turns on his heels and he walks off like, good luck, toots. She's furious. She's yelling, acting a teetotal fool at this playground. Yelling after him. You'll rue the day. I'm coming for you, Richard. You creep. She's going off. She basically is like, oh, it's like that? Now you don't know me. Okay, bet. I got something for you, Rich. Meanwhile, back at Falcon Crest, the owners, being Chase, Angie, and Richard, and Leather Pants Pam, are all having a meeting. They get right to insulting each other. Angela's like, I'm so glad Lorraine is all right. Richard's like, yeah, how is Lance? Is he still in jail? No, that was a low blow. Angela has to quickly remind him of how trifling his mother is. She can't stand Douglas's bastard. So, you know what? You must have inherited your mother's tact. Trifling. Funny thing is, that's Chase's mom too, but he doesn't seem to get offended. Matter of fact, he's like, hey, can we get this done? I got stuff to do. The whole purpose of this meeting is that they're going to do the whole Helios deal. They're going to have their wine in all sorts of grocery stores or wherever it's sold. They just need a bigger storage facility and they need sort of manufacturing for a bigger operation. Keep this in mind. Webster Wine and Market. I might be messing up the name, but just understand. This would be perfect storage. Leather Pants Pam was like, oh yeah, I know that place. It just came up on the market. Richard's pissed. Maybe he's a little bit pissed because in the back of his mind, he already knows that this whole Lance being in jail thing is not going to stick because of the Joel revelation. So he snaps at her. You should be telling me this. Why didn't you tell me that? She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were going to need storage. I had no clue. Well, he gets really pissed. Pants Pam basically says, hey, you got to move on this really quickly. A place like that is not going to stay on the market for very long. He gets mad. Who signs whose check here? Who's the boss here? Matter of fact, why don't you leave? Go back to the office. Go. Get. He kicks Pants Pam out. But she sticks around just long enough to ear hustle to see if they're going to really take the deal. Angela's like, you know what? Kick her out or not, she's not wrong. We really do need to hurry up and get this thing going. So Pants Pam is obedient for the time being, and she does go to the office. She's able to move a little quicker because she's wearing lighter fabric. She's not a stitch of leather in sight. Matter of fact, she has on a really tailored men's suit, but it's tailored to fit a woman. It is gorgeous. She goes to Richard's office and she's sitting at his desk, and I can only assume that she was about to like handwrite her resignation, but something catches her eye. She opens a drawer and she happens upon a tape recorder with about 20 cassette tapes. She picks up the tape recorder, which probably weighed like 6 pounds. It's heavy. She quickly discovers that there's a cord from the recorder to the telephone. Oh, wow. Wow, Richard, it's like that. Okay, it's like that. She figures out pretty quickly that he has been recording every single phone call he has, including the ones with her. She feels a way about it. Back at Falcon Crest, the 3 owners do decide they're going to go ahead and go in and try to buy this Webster place. But Angela needs to be messy. She's a messy auntie after all. So she goes over to the wine house to talk to Connie. Hey, Connie, don't you do scouting for Chase? Connie is busy. She's doing wine stuff. No, I don't do that. Chase usually does that. Well, aren't you with him sometimes? Yeah, I mean, sometimes I go, but right now I'm working on wine. What you need? Angela's like, oh, nothing. Just tell him I stopped by, but aren't you worried? Aren't you concerned about how it looks, you and he walking around together? Somebody might get the wrong idea. Connie at this point is like, okay, what does this old lady want? So she spins around and she's like, Angela, that is ridiculous. That man is very happy. He loves his wifey. Not telling Angela she already tried to put the moves on him and he said no. But Angela is sneaky. She's like, well, I mean, I'm sure he was, but his wife is so ambitious. She's in San Francisco day and night and day. Man like that might get lonely. That's all I'm saying. All right, well, I gotta go. Connie, you'll give him my message, won't you? Connie says, yes, Angela. I get your message loud and clear. This is where it gets a little fishy to me. I can't imagine that Connie would be on board doing what she does next. We'll get to that here in a second. The best part of that scene, though, is that Angela kind of looks like she's doing the Temptation choreography. She sort of slides out sideways. Such a messy boots, messy auntie. We got to get back to Lorraine. Lorraine is still in the hospital, nary a cast, but she's tired, I guess, the whole episode. She seems a little bit drained. Richard is there. He's reading her the comics in the Sunday paper, I suppose. In comes Pants Pam. Now, she is killing it all episode long in these tailored suits. Maggie has on one a little later on, too. They're so just beautiful. So she visits, she comes in holding something. She's sort of hunched over. She brings this girl a goldfish, and not just like a goldfish in a bag from the pet store. She bought the whole shebang, but she put it together and then walked into the hospital. So she's sort of hunched over trying to not slosh water around. Can you imagine how long that took her to get there? If you get in the car, you drive with, come on now, you're driving with a bowl of water and a fish in it. And then she had it decked out like SpongeBob. It's got the trees, it's got the rocks, it's got the little cave, all the things. I just picture her struggling in the parking lot. Her having to drive like 3 miles an hour. Whoever is dressing her, though, is really loving the Michael Jackson looks. I feel like she looks like more and more like Michael Jackson as the season progresses. On today, when she's visiting Lorraine, she's got on the white suit from Smooth Criminal. This scene shouldn't have been funny, but it was funny to me, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry also because it's not real. Pam is sitting at Lorraine's side. Lorraine is grateful for the goldfish in the water and all that. But she's upset. She's like, I lost the baby. I know. Oh, I'm sad. And Lance. That's not funny. What's funny is the way Leather Pants Pam is looking at her. I swear to you, she's fighting back laughing. She's trying not to crack a smile because the acting is so abysmal. And I'm like, oh my God, put this girl back in a coma, please. The more she talks, the worse it gets. She definitely ain't winning no awards anytime soon. I'm sure she became a better actress. I saw her in Malcolm X. She was much better than, but this ain't it. Leather Pants Pam and her light linen has big things to do. She drives down to San Francisco to talk to Maggie. Now, Maggie is a busy woman, but she's also in demand. She's getting all sorts of visitors this day. So she stops by, and Lorraine is like, excuse me. Leather Pants Pam is looking around, complimenting her on the office, which does look better. It looks like they got rid of Terry's decorations and just made it look better. Last episode, Maggie had tried to get Leather Pants Pam to turn on Richard, but she didn't have a reason to at that time. She does today. She's like, hey, girl, I got something for you. She reaches in her purse, hands her a tape. You're going to really enjoy this here tape, Maggie. Do with it what you will. And Maggie's like, well, what is it? She tells her, this is a conversation between the judge and Richard. I'm sure you'll find everything you need to acquit Lance. Do whatever you want to do with it. Maggie's like, are you sure? Leather Pants Pam was like, absolutely. I want to make sure I burn every bridge to a crisp. I like that. She's doing what she has to do so that she can't back out of it. Let me go ahead and turn you all the way in. You ain't loyal, I ain't loyal either. Well, Maggie has no choice but to call the manimal. The manimal comes, they listen to it on a little boombox. They hear the judge saying, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to throw the jury? Blah, blah, blah. You hear Richard saying he wants a conviction. It's the smoking gun that they've been waiting on. Well, after hearing that, the manimal has some lawyering to do. He got to leave. He's got to go make copies. Whoop-de-whoop. They'll meet again a little bit later. So as he's leaving, Maggie's male secretary comes in and announces she has yet another visitor. Miss Connie Giannini is here to see you. She's like, oh, okay, cool. Go ahead and send her in. Connie comes in and she looks like Anne of Green Gables in this Sunday go to meeting Easter hat from the early 1900s. Now, it's either cream or peach. I can't really tell, but I will go ahead and admit that I am biased and I recognize my hypocrisy. But I'm going to go ahead and say this. As I'm laughing at her hat, something in the back of my mind's like, Jet, that looks an awful lot like the millennial hat. Like, yeah, it does. What is a millennial hat? You know exactly what it is. If you've ever seen a picture of someone between the ages of, let's say, 30 and 45, they took a family photo and they're somehow in the grass or something in a prairie dress, I promise you they have on that wide-billed flat hat sitting on the back of your head. She looks like Anna Green Gables and I'm sticking to it. The millennial hat didn't curve up. This one does. Anyway, Maggie is cool. She's happy to see Connie. Connie is her girl. They're friends, right? So she's like, Connie, what are you doing here? Connie says she's just in San Francisco picking up a ting or two for Maggie's husband, Chase. Thought I'd stop by and see what a big important lady like you works at. Oh yeah, girl, hey, be comfortable. Well, Connie's like, no biggie, I can't really stay. I wanted to come by and say hey. And Maggie's like, yeah, you probably should get back on the road because I know how impatient my husband is. Connie says, well, he's never been impatient with me. Now, Maggie's not picking up what Connie's putting down just yet. Seems like an innocent comment, right? Maggie says, well, this is still new. You don't know him that well yet. He is nothing to play with before 10 a.m. with no coffee. Connie's just smiling all sweet. Well, he's been super sweet to me. So Connie's leaving. She's only came for 30 to 45 seconds, which is really weird. But as she's leaving, Maggie's holding the door. Connie turns around and she says, Maggie, what would you say if I told you I was falling in love with your husband? Maggie's got that resting smile face. Some people have an RBF. She doesn't. She has a resting pleasant face, an RPF. So she's smiling and she's paused like, wait, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be very comfortable with you guys working as closely as you do. Well, uh, do you? Are you in love with him? Connie just gives her the Mona Lisa smile, kind of shrugs her shoulder, turns and she's like turning to leave, and she tells Maggie, don't worry, he's in love with you. She spins on her heels and I guess twirls to the elevator. Maggie is left like, what? Me too. That whole scene, I was like, wait, what? Was that a line in the sand? Maggie's looking the same way. She's like, do I slap this wench or do I let this? What was that? Is she hitting on my man or is she not hitting on my man? Is it like that? Is it like that, Connie? She's perplexed. While Maggie's trying to figure out if this woman is coming for her man or not, Melissa is still none the wiser about what went down with Cole and her cousin. Quick refresher, Melissa got it in her mind at one point that her cousin could be the surrogate mother, only they're not going to inseminate her. They're going to do it the old fashioned way, she and Cole. Melissa changes her mind after Cole flips out at dinner and leaves. She tells Robin, okay, yeah, that was a stupid idea. I can't believe I thought that. Robin goes ahead and sleeps with him that night anyway, because he didn't hear the rest of the conversation. Okay. Before all that can go down, Melly Mel has already been rejected by Richard. Next best thing is Chase. Let me go get my father-in-law. He knows a lot of people in town. He'll let me know the right thing to do. She's just trying to keep herself from going to jail. Last thing she needs is a life sentence or however long and to be away from baby Joseph again. So she finds Chase at work and she confesses to him that she was the one who hired Joel, the Florida man. And she's like, listen, I'm sorry, Chase. I was a little bit pissed off at Angela when she disinherited me. Lance said something slick to my face and I didn't appreciate it. So I asked the Florida man to sprinkle some crack on him. I wanted him to get like a drug charge, so that he wouldn't be able to get the inheritance. I didn't know this kid was going to fly off the handle, go willy nilly, and try to murder people. I didn't do it. I didn't sign up for that, but I did pay him. What are we going to do? Can you help me? Please help me, please. Chase, of course, goes full dad mode on her. I can't believe you did this, Melissa. That is so selfish. Why didn't you say something at the beginning of the trial? Why didn't you say something when Lance was arrested? Why didn't you say something at any point before he became a fugitive on the run? All valid points. All valid points, but also she didn't want to go to jail. Lance shouldn't have said anything slick. So Chase says, okay, he's sort of on the same page as the Manimal. Melissa, if you come forward and you're honest, probably not going to go as hard on you as they would someone else. Let's go tell Sheriff Robinson. Melissa's like, okay, I was kind of going to do that anyway, Chase, but I really need to talk to Cole first. I don't want him to hear it. I want to be the person to tell him. Chase tells her, hurry up. You got things to do. So back at Melissa's house, this is where things start to get interesting. Cousin Robin is a totally different person in front of Melissa, and when she's behind her back, she's not the kind of woman you want to leave around your man, even if this is supposed to be a deal, quote unquote. Cousin Robin has decided she's going to stick around and stay in town. She hadn't said nothing about being pregnant. She hadn't told Melissa nothing. But she has taken it upon herself to use Cole's credit card. Now, how he did that, I don't know. She said, I put it on your charge card, so maybe they have an account at a store. She went and had an airbrushed t-shirt made that says baby. You know, like when you go to the mall and they used to have those kiosks and the people would airbrush something on a shirt for you? This is a hideous shirt, but it says baby. And she's like, well, it's for all of us. Talking about it's our pregnancy, all three of us. Cole is uncomfortable, but what can he do? Robin throws the shirt in the box just as Melissa's coming into the house. Melissa sees Robin, and you got to think about this. Robin is in town because she knows she's pregnant and she still wants to sleep with Cole. Melissa doesn't know that. Melissa thinks she's about to go to jail. The last thing she wanted is her cousin there, so she's like, Robin, I'm so sorry. I know I told you can stay, but I think you need to leave. Robin's like, what? Why? Melissa's like, things have changed. Robin says, you told me I could stay as long as I want. I know, girl, I know I said that, but things have changed. We really just kind of need a little privacy right now. Well, Robin looks over to Cole, who's sitting on a secret himself, and he's like, we can give it a few more days. Melissa's like, okay, cool. Once Robin leaves the room, Cole and Melissa say at the same time, I need to tell you something. They both kind of laugh it off and agree to have dinner that night. Question: how do you think this is going to go over? I sort of thought Robin would expose Cole if he didn't cooperate and sleep with her. That's kind of how I pictured it going down, but it was better than I thought it would go. But also I was just like, really? So Melissa and Cole go to this fancy restaurant. She's decked out. She's got that toddlers and tiara pageant hair. Her and Terry this episode. I don't know what the heck the stylist was thinking. But I guess she tells Cole off camera what she did, tells him all about Joel. He goes full dad mode on her. Melissa, that is the most selfish, stupid, immoral thing I've ever heard. Why did you do that? I can't believe you did that. And she's like, I know, Cole. I feel awful. I didn't mean for this to go this way. I just needed Florida man to sprinkle a little crack on Lance. That's all I asked for. And he went and did all this other stuff. And I feel really bad. I feel awful. Please, please don't leave me, Cole. Please don't leave me. This mofo, he says, well, I can't leave you because we're going to have a baby. Can you believe he felt like that? Okay. Devil's advocate here. That is a perfect time to slip that in because she already did something too. So it's like two wrongs don't make a right, but it definitely keeps you from being the person who's the most wrong at this point. You know what I mean? Who's more wrong? You slept with my cousin. You sent an innocent man to jail. Melissa, let's go back to Melissa. She's sitting there. She's like, wait, who's having a baby? She ain't pregnant. Cole, you definitely ain't pregnant. Who's having a baby? We are. Robin's pregnant. How? You know how. No, I don't know how. She didn't say that. But that's this is Jet slipping in. He's like, it was that night I slept in the wine house. I'm not proud of any of this. Here's the thing. I respect Mel's hairpin trigger because although she's pissed, although she could easily dash him in the face with a glass of wine, she doesn't. She immediately stands up and like, we deserve each other. But she's on a mission. They leave and she manages to stay super pissed off the entire trip home. Because she knows Robin, on that same night that he slept in the wine house, knew that she didn't want that to go down. She knew it. So now she knows that Robin is her op. So now she's like, oh, it's like that? It's like that, Robin? Okay, bet. When I tell you this is the most delightful, one of the most delightful scenes I've ever seen on this show. I love it. Melly Mel comes bursting into her house. Picture toddlers and tiara hair and a cocktail dress. She comes into the house, bursts into the living room. Robin has the audacity to be asleep on Melissa's fresh couch in a Laura Ingalls Wilder gown. Melissa ain't having that. She swings her obligatory soap opera clutch round and she hits Robin right in the face with it. Wake up, baby. Just put whatever word you want into. What would you say if you found out your cousin seduced your husband or slept with him behind your back and then has a nerve to be pregnant talking about this our baby? All three of us. Melissa ain't having it. She starts wailing on her. I can't believe you did this. I want you out of my motherfucking house. Swinging on her. Robin don't know what hit her. Oh my God. Melissa, calm down. Melissa, calm down. We had a deal. Melissa said, we ain't got no deal. She finally stops long enough for Robin to say, but you paid me $50,000. I'm like, God, Melissa's money is long. How many $50 increments is she doling out this season? My God, that was the wrong thing to say to this woman. That was the absolute wrong thing to say to Melissa because she revs back and sucker punches Robin in the face. Robin goes flying over the back of a high back chair. Blow, splatter tat tat all on the carpet. Melissa don't give a damn. You're not supposed to kick anybody while they're down. She ain't trying to hear that. She leaps on top of this woman and continues to beat her down. It is Jerry Springer all over again. Cole comes to the door. Melissa, now he, in my opinion, he took a little long. He let her get in a few more punches than was necessary. Or not. I'm not one to judge your outburst. That's a perfectly reasonable crash out if you ask me. But you know, the woman's pregnant. I guess Melissa was like, you ain't pregnant in your face. She's punching her all in her face. So to my surprise, Cole runs over and he picks up Robin, not because he's favoring her, but he knows she's in a delicate situation. So Robin's really playing up the, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's a woe is me. Melissa don't give a damn. Oh, wait, Sean, you gotta watch it. She didn't even let Robin get her bearings. She didn't even let her turn over before she leaped on her and started punching her. But Melissa starts crying, and of course, Cole goes over to her because that's what it is. And she's like, I can't believe you did this to me. Cousin Robin is still saying, Melissa, we had a deal. Cole's like, yeah, this was your idea. You were the one who just said this. Melissa said, no, I changed my mind. And he goes, you changing your mind, don't change this. We have to ride this through. She's here. This is the three of our baby. We got to figure this out. I mean, it's easy to say It's not his fault. It's really not. However, he's a little too self-righteous for me personally, because you didn't actually tell me that you slept with her. I had to figure it out when she came back. Plus, they don't really know if that's Cole's baby. We don't even really know if she's pregnant. That's neither here nor there because Melissa has to turn herself in. So Sheriff Robin comes over where Chase and Maggie live, a little castle. She just starts spilling her guts, and he's like, hey, you don't say that. You don't have a lawyer present. Stop talking, stop talking, stop talking. Sheriff's trying to be on her side. She ain't really having it. Cole is pissed. And it's pretty clear in this scene why Melissa picked Chase instead of Cole, because he's got a temper just like hers. Chase, Cole, and Melissa go down to the police station. We don't really see that on camera. Apparently she's booked. She had an attitude down there and then she's released. But before she left, she was like, Maggie, I'm so sorry. I hope you don't hate me. Maggie's not even tripping. I think Maggie is back on her mommy juice or her Xanax or whatever. She doesn't seem to be bothered. But she looks great. I love the tailored jackets this episode. I'll stop talking about it, but man, it's so good. I can't believe I'm complimenting these 80s clothes as much as I am. Compliment goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a relationship. Chase comes back from dropping Melissa off and he tells Maggie how it went down. Now he's got his shirt unbuttoned all the way below his, clavicle. He's got his shirt unbuttoned damn near to his belly button, chest hair on fleek. He's wearing a vest. And after he's talked to Maggie, he's trying to get a little something going. Like, what's that? What's that, Maggie? Missed you, boo. But she's busy. She really is busy. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I can't really do this. I gotta go to work. And he's like, okay, well, fine. Fine, okay, cool. It's like that. She's like, no, it's not like that. Listen, when I get home from work, I'll cook you a delicious, scrumptious meal. He's pissed. He's like, I don't want no cooking. He want that cookie. She can't give it to him. He says, Maggie, I'm racking tonight, which I can only presume means stacking wine bottles or preparing them for something. That's what it sounds like to me. Maggie hears that. She's like, oh, you working tonight? That's cute. Is Honey going to be working with you? He's like, I don't know. Maybe. Then she tells him, she's like, well, do you know that Anne of Green Gables came to my office today and basically told me she was in love with you? And he's all laughing. Please. He scoffs, knowing damn well that she kissed him last week. But he's like, oh, yeah, no. Whatever. Chase has his mind on his money on his mind. She is the finest champagne maker in all of Falcon Crest. And the last thing he's going to do is blow that relationship. Chase will not be confessing anything this episode. He just looks really annoyed, like, okay, fine, cool. Maggie says, I love you. He picks up her bag and stuff, hands it to her. Love you too. Bye. Fine. Bye. Maggie, you can squeeze one in. It's all good. You know who did squeeze one in? Pardon my French. Richard and Cassandra. So there's a scene where they are in bed post-coitus talking about nothing and everything. Richard finally confesses, I'm only doing all this so I can destroy my brother and Angela and take over Falcon Crest. What's your deep, dark secret? And Cassandra's like, what secret? Oh my gosh. I have gotten ahead of myself in my haste, in me reliving my third grade nightmare. I forgot to tell you guys about Emma this episode. So Emma and Riker have a very brief scene where they're at a restaurant. Damon says to Emma, I'm really glad you were able to get out today. She goes, yeah. This is at the beginning of the episode. So this is like as the meeting was happening between Chase, Angela, and Pants Pam and Richard. Emma tells Damon that she was basically kicked out of the house because she likes to ear hustle. And the last thing her mother needs is for her to catch wind of what's really going down. But she tells Damon anyway what she heard. She's like, I don't know, something big is about to happen. They're shifting things at Falcon Crest. Everybody's very nervous, but I be the ear hustling, so I had to leave. The waiter comes by, and Emma is old fashioned. She says, Damon, why don't you order for me? You pick out dinner, I'll pick out dessert. So he picks out dinner, he picks out a fine bottle of wine, and he says, what's for dessert? She reaches in her purse, slides over a Harry Potter key, and says, me. He's like, word? Yeah, me. Riker, Damon, I'm staying in a hotel tonight. I'd sure like some company in said hotel. He's looking into her eyes and he's like, God, you're being so vulnerable and so sweet. He's like, damn, I'm catching feelings, but I can't really do it. If I do that, I'm crossing the line. Mind you, he went off on his sister last week. Him and his sister were talking ish to each other about how they're both falling in love, and they are. So he can't very well take him into bed. He's like, listen, I just can't do it. Emma is a little embarrassed. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Was I too forward? Was it me? He's like, listen, let me tell you something, little girl. Let me tell you something right now. Under any other circumstances, I would drag you out of here. Take you to the SS Enterprise, and we would have light years worth of fun. However, a brother can't do that right now. I have something on my mind. And she's like, it's cool. I hear what you're not saying. And one day when you're ready to tell me, you can tell me. But not Emma trying to set up a little appointment. Okay, let's put pedal to the metal. Let's get to it. Oh, I love this. So Maggie and the Manimal, they have the tape incriminating the judge thanks to Leather Pants Pam. So what do? They accost him at work. Now, why a judge is being picked up from work in a limousine, I'm sure I don't know. Last time I saw his car, it was a Mercedes, but today he has a driver. I guess that's that Richard money. I didn't think about that. Perhaps this is his new coin, which only further incriminates him. So Maggie and the Manimal get inside the limousine, trapping him in the middle. And they say, you should let Lance out of jail. He's innocent. The judge scoffs. Likely story. Wouldn't you like it? The Manimal points out that Melissa already went and confessed. She's like, so what are you holding on to? The judge says, nah. He might not have tried to kill his grandma, but he did take off running. He is on the run. He did a whole lot of other stuff. I tend to believe the Manimal, if you weren't guilty of the original crime, are you incriminated? Are you guilty of the things that followed after that? Probably in real life, but not on a soap opera. So Maggie's like, okay, or dang, Manimal, he's not listening. The Manimal's like, yeah, I know. So Maggie's like, oh, what do we have here? Let me dig in my clutch, my obligatory soap opera clutch. She pulls out the tape recorder. She's like, bam, you want to hear this song? Push play. All you hear is the judge incriminating himself. Yeah, let's buy off the jewelry. Yeah, let's send him to jail, blah, blah, blah. It's terrible. Maggie and the Manimal, Eminem, tell the judge, you're going to tuck your whole career in. There's no more judging for you, baby. And he's like, you can't do this to me. This will never stand up in the court of law. They're like, yeah, it might. I mean, it might. I could take it to the globe. I could post your business all over the world if you really want it like that. I can do that. I have it like that. The judge is like, it's like that. Maggie says it's like that. So he, in the span of about 45 seconds, loses his whole career. A man like that is not going to take that lying down. Matter of fact, he's pissed. He's super pissed. Maggie and them have to get out. He says, Garçon, drive me to Richard's place. Garçon, or whoever the driver is, drives this man to Richard's radio station. Now, Richard's in there talking. Richard is talking on the phone. This man pulls a Dexter, the judge. He just kicks the door down. Poof. Busts off in there. Richard, you bloodthirsty son of a gentleman. Richard tries to maintain some control. I didn't hear you knock. Where's my secretary? Oh, your secretary. The judge's like, oh, okay. Guess what? Guess where I was? Guess what I've been doing? Letting your little friend out of jail. You know Lance Compton is free now, right? Do you know I was run up on and I had to tuck my whole career away because of you? Why do you have such a big mouth? Why are you running your mouth, Richard? Richard's like, what the hell are you talking about? And he starts digging in his ear. I don't think I heard you right. What are you saying? The judge is like, the Manimal and Maggie played a tape of you and I chitting, incriminating evidence, saying all sorts of things. Now I ain't got no job. Richard's like, dang, that sucks to be you, but I ain't get nobody nothing. I ain't get nobody no tape. The judge's like, oh, you didn't? No tape, me ass. Where's the tape? Where is it? He starts flipping stuff over. He's getting increasingly angry as time goes on. So he leaps over the desk, Homer Simpson styles, and starts choking out Richard. So Richard is like, luckily, he's super tall and apparently he's pretty flexible because he reaches over his head behind his back and he pushes the little call button on his phone, which is very impressive. And I don't know if cops live there, if that's the cop button, but two police officers come bursting in the door. And when I tell you it takes both of them to pull him off of Richard, he is furious. I can't believe it. How did he's acting a teetotal bull. He's being drug out. And Homeboy is kicking and screaming and threatening Richard's life. And in the midst of all the kerfluffle, in walks Leather Pants Pam and Light Linen. Leather Pants Pam has a delightfully beautiful light blue jacket on, and she's got that smile on her face, the same smile she had when Lorraine was with her. She was losing the baby in Lance. It's not funny. Oh my God. But there's this smug satisfaction on her face, like, yup. Richard has now put two and two together. He knows exactly how that tape landed in Maggie Nim's lap. How long have you worked with me, Pam? A couple years. And we had a good relationship, right? She's like, what do you want to ask me? Ask me the question that is on your mind, Richard. Please, please ask me the question. It's like, all right. He got the nerve to be mad. He says, I can't believe I couldn't trust you. I thought I could trust you after this long. She's like, oh, you did. You thought you could trust me so much that you recorded my phone calls too. He's like, but never mind that. Forget that. Lance is walking around free. She's like, he should be walking around free because he was innocent. Remember, you were the one who orchestrated this whole thing. He's like, I just can't believe you, Pam. I can't believe you did this. He's going to go see Lorraine now. Good. That's where he belonged. That's why I did it, honestly. I did it because I went and saw Lorraine. She terribly acted, but pulled on my heartstrings. I did what I had to do. He's like, I just can't believe you. She's like, you know what? You think you can't trust me? I'm gonna give you a reason not to trust me. I did what I did. Oh well. He's like, oh, it's like that? It's like that, Richard. Real quick, Lorenzo Lamas as Lance is adorable this episode. He's in it very briefly. Angela and the Manimal show up to tell him he's free. You getting out of jail? He's so adorable. He's super cute this episode. So he skips to the loo. You know what the first thing he does? The first thing he does is run to the hospital to Lorraine's side. And for the first time in my lifetime, I ain't never seen this on TV. I'm sure it's happened before. But he and Lorraine have a shotgun wedding right there in the hospital. They have a guy come in and he's reading him, do you take her? Do you take him? Ill na na na. She's sitting up in bed, nary a piece of gauze or anything on her head. Got her hair did a little bit, new gown. And there's two witnesses. Do you know who the two witnesses are? Nurse No Name, some dude. And then Nurse 12 Hours. Yes, that nurse. The same nurse who turned Lance in. She not only is at the wedding as a witness, she got the nerve to be crying. She has the nerve to cry at their wedding after she sold him up the river. She didn't even take the bail money. She just did it because she was tired and pissed off. Maybe she had her coffee. Maybe she had a nap and she felt better afterwards. So anyway, they're married bedside, and unfortunately, Richard comes. He's in the hallway. You can see him in the background. He has a Snoopy doll because that's what he was reading the comics from. He knows that they're married, and he's disgusted. He's pissed off. He needs to go pick on somebody. Who is that? Who is the doormat of this franchise? Good old Aunt Terry. He goes by the horse stables, and I don't know why. I guess they just needed her in this episode. She's in her toddler and tiara hair too. She's in the horse stables enjoying small virtue. Richard comes up. I still feel a way. You were supposed to feed me information about the manimal. She says, Richard, you can't possibly be serious. You know there was absolutely nothing to tell. Plus, Terry blew up her own spot. So like there's nothing hanging over her head. He's like, that's not the point. The point is you were supposed to tell me stuff. She's like, and okay, it is what it is. What am I supposed to do now? What do you want? Oh, I don't know. He just kind of tells her, watch your back. In other words, just watch your back. Keep your head on a swivel, Terry. I'm coming for you. Just this really vague threat. Smirks and walk off. So now she's all uncomfortable. You can tell she's like, well, what the hell? What else does he know about me? Oh my gosh, I just thought about this. He's probably going to tell Maggie that she used to be a call girl. But did she already tell her that? I can't remember. I don't think she said it explicitly. She just sort of hinted at having a shaky background. That matters not, because we're getting to the ultimate gotcha. So remember at the top of the show, at the beginning of this episode, that whole Webster and whatever, that storage facility, apparently they decided they were going to go ahead and buy it. This time, Richard walks in and he is not in a good mood, but Angela's there and she's super happy because number one, her grandson's out of jail. Number two, Lorraine is married to him. And number three, she knows that's going to piss off Richard. This is all the more sweet because Angela has not forgot that little dig that Richard had at the last meeting about Lance. Oh, Lance is in jail. He's out of jail. He ain't on bail. He California dreaming with your baby girl now. Richard immediately says, that was a real cute little stunt you pulled there, getting that marriage license for Lance and Lorraine. And she's like, oh, it's the least I could do. You're lucky Lance made your little girl an honest woman. Well, this little old lady secretary comes in right about there before they could, dig on each other anymore. And the little old lady's like, can I get you guys anything? I'm assuming she meant like coffee or tea or something. Or an ice cold caffeine free Diet Coke in a gold can. Angela ain't trying to hear that. She's like, yeah, you can get me your nincompoop of a boss. Tell him to get out here. I got stuff to do. Well, ain't no nincompoop on the premises. No leather either. But light linen Pam shows up, bold as the day is long. She owns the Webster and Wine storage, lock, stock, and barrel. She was not joking. When she said she came to burn bridges, she is burning them to a crisp. And now she's looking at them like, you hoes are going to pay me $50 million if you want this here facility. Chase, I don't know why they threw this line in. He's like, oh, so you make a $10 million profit. Obviously, why do you sell things otherwise? Do you sell things to lose money? Obviously, she needs some money. Rich was like, I can't believe you did this. It's like that, Pam. She's like, it's like that, Rich. Matter of fact, I should be thanking you. I learned a lot working with you. I saved a little money. I bided my time. Next thing you know, when opportunity hit, after you kicked me out of that other meeting, I said to myself, self, go on and buy this, and then you're going to make him buy you back. So I did just that. Richard is salty, but there's little to nothing he can do. The clock is ticking. They need this Helios deal, and they need a storage facility like yesterday. So they have no choice but to pony up the money. Richard is just looking at her all out the side of his eye. She basically tells him, Richard, knuck if you buck. He's just staring at her like, oh, I hate this wench. So Richard is like, okay, cool. I'll go ahead and get you a check for the money first thing in the morning, Pam. She's like, oh, can you make it tonight? I got a plane. You know what I'm saying? Got things to do. I love it. Angela's looking her up and down and she's like, dang. I hate to tell you because I don't like you like that. I can't stand you at all. But dang, you make me proud. I couldn't have done this better myself. I have never liked you, little girl, but I respect a woman about her money. I'm proud of you for getting that bag. Well played, Pleather Pam. Richard is big mad as everybody else leaves. He thinks she's gloating, or at least he wants her to gloat so that he can do this next thing. He goes, oh, you must be really proud of yourself. She's like, no, not really. I'm actually kind of sad at the way this all turned out. This was never how I saw us going, Richard. I hate that it had to be like that, but no hard feelings, right? It's just business. And he's like, yeah, okay. It's like, it's business. Cool. She's like, well, if you're ever in England, hit a girl up. Unless it's the summer, because I'll be at French Riviera. In the winter, I'll be in Tahiti. So hit me up in the fall or spring. And Richard was like, well, how are you going to do all that when you're tied up in Interpol? She's like, I beg your pardon? It's like, well, Pam, you have all those connections to the cartel. She's like, Richard, wait. I know you're not saying. I know you're not that dumb. He says, oh, but I am. Richard had gone to the feds as soon as Pam left his office because he was bitter, because he's a little girl sometimes. He has turned over a file of all the little dirt she did for him, omitting himself, obviously, because the feds are still looking for ties to the cartel. I had all but forgotten about the cartel after they buried that guy alive in the cave. No, they're still looking for someone to blame. And apparently the hammer's about to come down on Pam's head. She looks Richard right in his eyes like, you better be lying. I know you're not that dumb. And he's like, I don't know what to tell you. Enjoy your freedom while you got it. She's like, it's like that, Richard? It's like that, Pam. She starts yelling at him. I'll kill you dead, I'll blow you off the face of this earth. Which made me really excited because that means we're probably going to get a Falcon Crest explosion. I missed the pyrotechnics. I think we need a little bit this episode, and I hope it comes at the finale. End scene. I cackled so much this episode. I loved it. This is the first time we've had a cat fight on Falcon Crest. The guys have punched each other a couple times. I remember Chase hit Lance in the stomach with a giant wrench, but we never had a cat fight. We had 2 fights this episode. And I've been thinking, if you are a Falcon fiend, you already know this. At the end of season 2, Jacqueline stepped in front of the bullet and took it for Richard. She ended up dying. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I got some more Falcon Crest tea. Thank you, Oregon. I totally forgot. I'll say it on the next episode. But I thought that was really funny that Jacqueline actually died because her and Jane Wyman didn't get along. But anyway, bullet was meant for Richard. He didn't die then. The end of season 3, the plane goes down because somebody was trying to kill Richard. He didn't die that time. Richard is the common denominator at every finale. He's got the whole world coming for him. And on this episode, he pissed off 3 people. He got Melissa, super pissed off at the top. He's got the judge, super pissed off towards the middle. And Leather Pants Pam at the very end. Plus, Lance is out of jail now. I find it very difficult to believe that he and his grandmother don't cook up a scheme to destroy him. Richard better keep his head on a swivel. I cannot wait to see what happens on the finale. All right, guys, join me next time as we watch all 4 of the season closers: Falcon Crest, Dynasty, Dallas, Knots Landing. I don't know which one I'm looking forward to the most. I kind of think Dallas. I need to see what's going on there with Sue Ellen. I feel like I hadn't seen them in a long time. I am fiending for me some Dallas. I'm just really interested to see what happens on Knots Landing. Even if this wasn't the finale, I just need to see what this aftermath is. I cannot wait. Oh my God, I can't wait to talk about it. Dynasty should be fun. Fully expecting to have a good time, and I'm expecting explosives on Falcon Crest. If you're listening to this on your mobile device, you can send me a text. Let me know who you are rooting for. Let me know what you've thought of the season thus far. Check the show notes for the link that says send us a text. Or you can reach out the old-fashioned way and email me at soaplorepodcast@gmail.com. That's soaplorepodcast@gmail.com. In the meantime, in between time, if someone tells you, oh, it's like that, keep your head on a swivel. You never know if a 3rd grader's going to ruin your week. Or if a judge is going to come leaping over a desk and choke you out like Bart Simpson. Stay hydrated, stay moisturized, mind your own business, and keep all of your drama on TV.